Hi, I'm Holly with Fern the Camper. I'm Holly, this is my Happier Camper HC1 called Fern, and today I just want to talk to you about what it was like to be a teacher for Skillshare. It has been 3 months since I was invited to be a teacher from Skillshare and actually completed my first course, which was an introduction to camping. Since then, I also produced a second course, which I've also published on YouTube. So my experience with Skillshare, I did start out as a student. I was a student for nearly a full year. I specifically went on to Skillshare to learn about photography and also pick up some other tips. I wanted to do stop motion, and there were some other crafts and some other painting techniques I was also intrigued with, all of which were on Skillshare. So not sponsored by Skillshare. I am an affiliate and my teacher links do give me an affiliate payback, but this is a genuine review about my experience both as a student and as a teacher on the platform of Skillshare. Okay, so as a student, I cannot praise this platform enough. I loved all of the classes I took. There was such a huge range of instructors. If one specialized in one aspect of what I was looking up, I felt I got a really good in-depth with that. Another teacher might just do some very general basics. Again, that would give me all my basics. Every teacher that I learned from, I feel like I've learned something new, even if it was something I thought I already knew about, like posting on Instagram. I think I probably had about 8 classes on Instagram posts. It's where I learned to do my reels, which yes, I am still perfecting, and I know that there is a lot more to learn on Instagram, you know, baby steps. But everything I learned on Skillshare is just amazing. The photography classes blew me away. I feel like if I was taking photography classes online, I would be normally paying $350 or more for something that I would probably finish in 6 months. I just feel like there was so much value I got out of my Skillshare courses. So if you're interested in which courses I took for photography, I will leave most of them in the link below. There are a lot. And again, I will also leave just a general link to Skillshare so you can get a couple of free weeks trial if you've not tried it yet. That is my affiliate link. I will be getting compensation for that, but you don't have to use it. If you go into Skillshare, just make sure you get some sort of free trial before you buy. Make sure it has the classes that you are looking for. I would hate to have you drop your payment and only find that it doesn't have your niche, which is hard to believe because there are so many classes on that platform. My time as a teacher. I was invited to be a teacher for Skillshare after I had put in a few of my projects and engaged in a few discussions. There were, I believe, I don't know what their official term is, but I would term them as scouts, possible student scouts or teacher scouts. And I was sent an email from one of these Skillshare instructors or instructor trainers and asked if I would be interested in participating in the teacher challenge, which is a it's a 1-month teaching challenge course for aspiring teachers on Skillshare. Now, to be a teacher on Skillshare, you do not have to take this course. You could just start uploading your content, although they are starting to vet content a little bit more. They want to make sure that you absolutely have pretty much something that's going to fit in on their platform well. But still, the idea is that everybody has something to teach, everyone has a class in them, and it's very much a community teaching space, which I adore. I first learned a lot on YouTube independently, and in my early days of learning how to film, how to shoot for YouTube, everything I learned from YouTube tutorials, but it got to a point where I felt like I wanted to dive in more. And that's where Skillshare really, really took off for me. So I have other friends that only use Udemy and they really love that platform. I have not quite gotten into that platform yet, but I will, if I ever do, I will leave a review for that as well. Okay, so the month-long challenge was pretty intense. For this car to go past because it's noisy. Oh, it's a truck. Oh boy, someone's doing construction. Yay. Sarcasm. So the month-long course was pretty intense, and you know, there are teacher trainers that you could reach out to if you need suggestions or need help. You get a really good community of other teaching potentials, so other learners that are on the platform with you. You can have discussions, you can compare notes. So you'll meet some really good friends, in my opinion, if you engage with the discussions on the teacher training board and also give feedback. You'll get feedback and you'll be able to hone your filming style, because it is very different than filming for YouTube. And the requirements are different, the specs are different. For instance, you can't upload 4K, it has to be HD. I think even SD is okay, but no 4K and nothing below SD. So I mean, just small little things like that, which you kind of hone in your style for. Again, your presentation style is very different, and you know, they give you really good feedback. It did really run me through my paces. Did it improve me as a cinematographer? I don't think I can label myself as that at all. Did it improve me as a YouTuber? I don't know. If you have been watching me and you notice a difference, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know if my style has changed. If it has it changed for the better, etc. Because having been doing this for 2.5 years, it's hard for me to see what has evolved and what has changed, because you know, when you're too close to a project, you really are too close to make that sort of judgment. In that month, if you complete the teacher challenge in that month, when I was taking the class, I believe they are still doing this. If you complete that teacher challenge in a month and your class is published and there's no issues, then you are awarded with 1 year, a full year of Skillshare for free, which is fantastic. Even if you don't think you want to pursue a full-time career as an online teacher, even if it's just a little side hustle, getting the 1 year free of Skillshare is going to be such a game changer for people who desperately need that extra edge if they want to learn a new art. I mean, 2 weeks free Skillshare is awesome. A whole year of Skillshare for free is even better. So if you have that opportunity, if you have a class that you want to teach, if you're thinking about it, I can absolutely recommend, jump into that Skillshare teacher challenge. They do it every single month, and it creates and trains new teachers, which means more content and more classes for all of us students. And it's just a wonderful platform. Okay, so that's the good, golden, wonderful spots of Skillshare. And now for the slightly darker side of my Skillshare experience. And I know a few people have had this experience too when they start as a Skillshare teacher. Once again, being a student on Skillshare is amazing. I feel like there is so much value there to be had. When you become a teacher, the teacher training is wonderful. I love the support. The tech side of it, a lot of the teachers did not know how to help on certain little aspects. I use Final Cut Pro. For some reason, Final Cut Pro, when I was uploading my first classes, was being very odd, and it actually kept reformatting my picture size to the wrong size. It would go landscape instead. I mean, like full, like bars at the top and the bottom. I know basics on Final Cut Pro. I am not an expert. I'm still learning. Again, I have Skillshare classes I have lined up to learn even more, and I had a couple of little glitches with uploading to start with. And I feel like the teachers there were very good and supportive and motivational, but when it came to the tech side of it, I had to call up a friend, actually Live Life with a View. Thank you for helping me out on my Final Cut Pro issue, and that sorted it out. So the tech support for Skillshare isn't necessarily there. You are expected to know your gear well enough to be able to produce a class. The other negative about this was about 3 days after my class went live. I was very excited, as you can understand. I logged back in and I thought I'm going to learn another class on Skillshare, and halfway through the class I have a question. I go to the discussions page on that class and error pops up. I keep trying and nothing's happening. I go to my home page, nothing's there. It says my account has been deactivated. Wow. Obviously there was some sort of glitch. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. I emailed support. I did online research. It turns out that sometimes some new teachers get hit by some sort of algorithm. I don't know what it is. And they are just cut off, and that was devastating for me. All my work I had done, all that whole month of busting my butt to get those classes done. I had been working double shifts. It's hard work, you know, producing every week for YouTube, but on top of that, I was producing it was essentially an hour-long class for Skillshare, which is pretty much like me doing 8 YouTube videos, all bundled up in one, with extra resources, with a lot of extra bits. Trust me, it was about 60 hours of work in a very already tightened work schedule for myself, with homeschooling, with family, with having to do YouTube, trying to balance Instagram, and also trying to get my other blog off the ground. It was totally exhausting. And then to have that just be snatched away was gut-wrenching. You know, I kept trying to reach out to customer service. I would not get any response. I never got any formal email from Skillshare saying that I had been removed or why I'd been removed. It was just like that. 1 minute I was there, the next I wasn't. And I was, as you can understand, devastated, totally devastated by this, because also, you know, I had my whole year of Skillshare learning all lined up. It wasn't just about the courses I had done. So I did get an email, a mass email from my student teacher, and I reached out to her and said, hey, I don't know why I've been deactivated. I can't figure out why this has happened. You know, am I coming back? I've reached out to customer service and I've heard nothing. And she immediately said, I am getting your case looked at right now, and hold tight. So within 24 hours, my class, my account was reactivated. Everything was there. All of my classes I'd lined up were still there. All of my classes that I had made and uploaded were also there, which, oh, what a relief. I had a feeling I would never get that back. And that was really stressful. So thank you to my beautiful student teacher for getting my account reactivated. But this is why, when it comes down to being a Skillshare student, I give Skillshare a 100 out of 100, like, beautiful platform as a student. As a teacher, I am still going to be producing classes for Skillshare. I very much like the platform, but that incident I felt was really unnecessary and very much over the top. And the customer service is there for the students. I do not feel like it is there as much as it should be for the teachers. I should not have had to have my student teacher jump in for me. And I know that Skillshare is an excellent platform again, and I hope that they get this sorted out, because I do not want them scaring away new teachers, and I hope I don't scare away new teachers, because I do feel like even as a teacher with that experience that was negative, it is very, very much worth the experience. It is very, very much worth learning how to teach a class online, and I can take that knowledge I learned from Skillshare and I can apply it to other teaching platforms. So don't let my story scare you off. Just, if this happens to you, get in touch with your student teacher and have it sorted as soon as possible. Okay, so as a teaching platform, I'm only going to give it a 65 out of 100, which is a pretty low score, which might sound harsh and unfair, and considering I'm continuing to make classes for Skillshare, perhaps I should give it a little bit higher, but it is what it is. That few weeks of intense stress was very traumatic, and yeah. So as a teacher for Skillshare, make sure you back up all of your lessons on your hard drive, on an external hard drive, and use those lessons, upload them to other platforms, upload them to Udemy if you have the chance, upload them to Teachable if you have a chance. Make sure that you are using your skills to the best possible advantage, because when a large organization like Skillshare depends on you as a teacher to bring in monthly income for subscribers, not necessarily individual income for each individual class, things kind of get caught up in algorithms just like they do for YouTube. And if you have a load of friends all at once who use your link to sign up, Skillshare might think that this is you trying to work the system, and there is a possibility that your account's going to be deactivated. That's not what happened to me. I only had one friend use my link that didn't already have a Skillshare account. Let's talk about money. What did I earn my first month of Skillshare? Let's have a look. Skillshare.com, and here we are. So when you become a teacher, you will have a teacher bar. Actually, to be honest, when you sign up as a student, you'll see this little teach button here, and it will say create a class, teacher handbook, classes you're teaching, posts to all followers, and your teacher stats. So I'm going to open up my teacher stats, and here we go. So as of today, I have a total earned of $91, and I have 47 students. My minutes watched includes freebies and paid. You get paid approximately 5 cents to 8 cents per minute watched of premium classes. So if you set up a class and set it for free, you would not get paid for any of those minutes. And it says August earnings to be paid, because last month was August. I have 165 premium minutes watched. And let's just go back. I had a good month before that. Let's first talk about May. That's when I had one of my classes as free, and I also got axed from Skillshare that month. That's when they deactivated my account. So I had 2 premium minutes for that month, but I also had, scroll down here, I also had one person use my link, and that was my $10 referral fee. Thank you, Mr. Benja. You're a superstar. Okay, so let's go back to June, month 2. I have 198 premium minutes and 269 total minutes. So of that 198 minutes, I earned $14.71. You know what? I was expecting more, but that's okay. I'm a new teacher, and you know, it'll happen. So you see, July, I had a pretty good month by comparison. I had $66.58 for my 2 classes. Most of those people were watching my introduction to camping class. You can see my class stats over here. I have camping for total beginners, 36 students. One of them was kind enough to leave a review. And I have 11 students since beginning. for campfire cooking, cast iron, bacon, and eggs. So that is pretty much what I have to share so far on Skillshare as being a teacher. Again, $91 is better than nothing. And in that time, I earned a year's free subscription for Skillshare. I learned how to film better, and I learned some really wonderful new things from awesome classes. So I definitely suggest, if you are interested, to go out and try this, and then take that knowledge and use it for other teaching platforms as well. Double, triple, quadruple your income, and you will be getting a very, very nice sideline from teaching. Okay, so ultimately, Skillshare, excellent platform. If you are ever considering becoming an online teacher or just curious about how to get started, do think about doing that teacher challenge. If you can get your free 1 year of Skillshare, that's awesome. Use the link below if you have not yet signed up to Skillshare. Get your 2 free weeks and see what I'm talking about all those classes and the amazing content you can get. In those 2 free weeks, you can probably get $1,000 worth of excellent classes, all done and dusted. Get your value. Get as full value as you can out of this. Also, in that time, you can start the teacher program and then get your year at the end of it. So there are so many good advantages to being a Skillshare student. There are also so many advantages to being a Skillshare teacher, but make sure you back everything up, because when it comes down to bots and algorithms, you just never know, and you want to make sure you have a safety net. Okay, if you have ever thought about camping, if you ever wanted to try camping but were not sure how to get started, my class is all about it's an introduction to camping for total beginners. People who have not just thrown their stuff in the back of their truck and decided to camp out under the stars. You can do that. That is sweet. Maybe you just want to hone your camping game. Either way, you can get that class for free if you use my 2 weeks free link in the description below. Okay, advert done. There we go. Moving on. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Holly. This is Fern. Stay safe, keep camping, and then go get your free link on Skillshare.